episode 40 of
40.
Trusty, we're only 40.
We're only 40. I would love if my voice regressed to that, like Benjamin Buttons with the voice.
I would hate that. I would really hate that. I would hate that so much. You're just about bearable, I'd say. Welcome to the podcast, TrustyHogs, an episode, a podcast even, where we tell you about our lives. We have listeners write in with their problems. We help solve them. We have a gorgeous guest today. We have the incredible comedian
John Hastings.
Another ginger on the
fuck,
show.
I hadn't thought about that.
I know, it's gross.
Let's deal with this in a minute.
Yeah.
Welcome to TrustyHogs.
Through the fog, step forth the trusty hogs. Yeah, you're gonna give them your problems and they will solve them. Or maybe they won't, and that's your problem. They'll have guests and Andrew White on the tech. Oh, it's Helen and Catherine as the trusty hogs. Trust the trusty hogs, or maybe not.
It's nice to have you here. Helen, I have so much to
It's nice
tell
to
you.
have me here.
Yeah, it's
I'm
nice.
always here. What are you treating me like a guest?
Look, I'm trying a new thing today where I'm nice to you. It's nice to see you. I'm pleased we're doing this.
Why are you trying a new thing to be nice
Because
to
my girlfriend told me I bully you, and I'm like, I don't. She just has to be. The point. She has to be taken in hand, is what I said.
Oh my God. Are you, baby Catherine, you can look at me. Are you worried there's some truth in that?
But you do. You have to sometimes be told, otherwise we would never get the podcast done.
I do feel sometimes
Bullied?
Not bullied, not celebrated. And for me, that's very similar, right?
I'm sorry. I'm here to celebrate you and your gorgeous tits.
Like, you don't let me, like, if I get hungry and hot and I want to go get an ice cream and we're in the middle of an episode, you're a bit funny about it.
I know, I'm such a bitch.
Whereas I feel like you're not celebrating me and who I am.
I get it.
'Cause it's not like I wouldn't bring you back a Solero.
I don't want a Solero.
Well, what do you want?
Bring you back from where? Where is this Solero coming from?
Little Waitrose.
Little
Little Waitrose. Little Sainsbury's. Little Waitrose.
Oh my
There's
God.
loads
The
of
regression is real and I hate it.
There's loads of
Helen Bauer, I have so much to tell you.
Tell me
First
everything.
of all, I have a couple of parish announcements. Does any other podcast do parish announcements, by the way? I'm thinking of making it a thing.
I mean, I would.
What's the
I
parish
quite like it.
announcement? Someone's died. Who wants to do the flowers? She did them for years.
Yeah, well, Helen, here's what I'm saying is people have Dictionary Corner, other people have Corrections Corner. I want to have parish announcents on the Piggy show.
I would
Is
like that.
okay?
Parish
Great.
Okay, parish announcements.
Parish announcements.
Do you have to do it in an Irish accent?
Yeah, and I think you're going to love them. I just do the whole thing in an Irish accent.
No, I'm going to do
Real
mine in an
amazing.
Irish accent too.
Okay,
then.
great. Parish announcements are as follows. It turns out last episode, I did not believe you when you said a long-time listener, Fred, a 17-year-old from Australia, was in the country.
Yeah,
18 now.
18.
And they will correct us. So.
Okay.
And you yelled at Helen.
Listen, there's no interruptions of the parish announcements. Thank you. I have the pulpit. So,
The pulpit?
what I would like to say is,
This is.
you were right.
Thank you.
And I was not right.
Wrong.
So that's one. The other announcement is that Oliver Jago, long-time listener too, has sent us all the most beautiful portraits of our animals and animals that don't even belong to me. Yes. And gorgeous gifts and generosity was so, like, honestly, you were so kind and we just wanted to say thanks. Huge shout out to Oliver Jago.
Thank
the parish
you.
thanks you. Yes. And then my third announcement is to say that I love you. You're my good friend. And I would like it on note so that I can treat you whatever way I want when we start the podcast proper. Do you have any parish announcements? No. Moving on.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I don't think I even got a moment to think.
If you don't come with them ready, you're
Is a
not gonna
parish
get-
announcement, does it have to be an apology to the other person?
an
Or
apology
can it be
announcement or a recognition? So is Pancake dead?
Pancake lives on?
Great. Do you have anything to apologise for?
Wearing these
specific?
hair clips, I
I
guess.
love these hair
No,
clips.
these
No,
are
I
great.
I'm too
yeah.
big. It makes it looks sarcastic on me. It's like flower crowns.
disagree. I love the
And
hair
my
clips on
parish
you.
announcement is now I wear hair clips.
I love them. I
I'm
love them.
31. I don't wash my hair that often,
It's a
but I
best
feel
damn
like it's the
time.
ultimate distraction.
Love it.
2 big old hair clips. They're from Oliver Bonas. It's a small boutique, not a chain.
Sure. My mom calls it OB.
I genuinely think it's impossible to go into
OB.
OB and not spend £30.
Agreed. It is impossible.
Have you ever done it, Andrew?
What do the socks cost £30? The hair clips cost £30. The tops cost £30.
And since you bought me the slippers from there, I'm aware I can fit into them. So then I was looking at all these slippers because I dropped a cigarette on my orange ones and I was like a big burn on it. Yeah, I still wear them, but they're not like top quality anymore.
Wow.
Well,
There's
they
a
were
parish
never-
announcement
they were
for which
never
I would like an apology.
last forever. Like I'm wearing them inside outside. Like
I bought them. They looked such like these are slippers she will smoke in. So honestly, I should have known.
I do.
Don't they have that vibe?
I look so good
You look
smoking
like
in
you
them.
own a pub in them.
Thank you.
I know.
You know,
you're
I wondered when I was like younger for a while whether I'd be someone that owned a pub and live above it, because like
Why own a pub when you can just wear the aesthetic?
It's got all my favourite parts of like working in catering.
Yeah.
Like it's pouring pints, it's cleaning glasses, it's wiping down tables, but it's not that really long, tricky silver service. Like you can put
Those are the two options.
well, I don't like laying a table. I always found that really long and boring in catering. But pubs, you just leave like a bucket with like your sauces, your spreads.
It can be a wooden box. It can just be like, have it.
And I love that because there's
napkin.
nothing better than like, you know, when you sit down at a pub table and you've ordered your food and you realise you're at a table with 4 sauces and they're
heaven.
full.
Yeah, heaven.
Oh my God.
Somebody's just decanted right into those bad boys.
I guess that's my parish announcement, I feel.
Parish announcements have definitely ended.
No,
We're into the chat.
Andrew might have a parish announcement.
No, there's no interrupting the parish
I'm going
announcements.
to my
They're
first
over.
Pride tomorrow.
Oh, he's going to his first Pride. That's a good parish announcement.
No, you're confusing information or chat with actual announcements. Parish announcements, I've said this already, are death notices, apologies, acknowledgements. It's just news if you're telling me you're
I'm
going to a
sorry,
Pride
we're going to do
Okay.
parish announcements differently. That's an apology. Go ahead.
I mean, if we do parish announcements, to be fair, Catherine is right. If we do parish announcements with no boundaries, that is just the podcast.
Thank you, Andrew. I declare.
Do I have to wait for someone to die to do a parish
I now
announcement?
declare parish announcements closed. Well done on going to Pride tomorrow. That's exciting. Which one are you going to?
Thank you. The big London.
The big un.
Yeah, the big un.
Great.
Accidentally, I'm meeting this guy that
Third date?
Third date, yeah.
Oh my God!
And I
Good
was
job
like-
we don't have a podcast the next day.
knew
'cause
he
he'd
wouldn't
actually
ghost.
show
I
up.
knew.
Thank you.
It's only the third date. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It was like completely accidental. I was like, I'll come meet you in London and we'll do stuff. And
Talk
then
to us. How are you doing Pride? Where are you basing yourself?
Are you going to wear the earrings I
basing
gave you?
myself. No, I left them back at home. I'm staying over in London tonight and I forgot them. Sorry. What? Because I only found out it was Pride on the train up
You
today.
buy a man queer rings. You only found out it was Pride.
No, I knew it was Pride Month,
Homosexual are
obviously.
you?
I didn't know it was London Pride.
Question.
I saw it on the Metro.
I don't want to be the straight girl.
Found out on the Metro?
In the Metro paper, yeah.
It's a good paper.
I only got it
For
from the
straight
studio.
people? What were you doing? Reading the latest news about Lady Gaga? And then we're like, oh, look, it's Pride tomorrow.
I was doing
Do you
the
remember when
Sudoku.
Catherine
I always start with the
apologised?
middle Sudoku, and then if I'm feeling good, I'll go to the hard one. And if I
Yes.
struggle with the middle, I'll go back down to the easy one and make myself feel good.
Oh, man, I love a man who knows his boundaries. Yeah, no heart.
Right, so yeah, it's Pride tomorrow. How exciting.
Can I be the
can't use
straight girl that tells Andrew?
Just to clarify, it won't be Pride tomorrow by the time this episode goes out.
Yeah.
We're
Oh yeah,
recording-
this is last week's Pride
dating.
from when you're listening.
Oh yeah, this is last week's Pride. But quickly, Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
I, as someone who has been to Pride, you do want a base.
A base? What kind of base?
You do need a base.
You need a base because of access to toilets and stuff. So here's my hot tip. Base and Soho stay close to hotels because they've got nice toilets in the lobbies. Are you taking notes?
For the podcast, yes.
right, okay.
I am working.
Okay, I was like, are you taking your notes on Pride from Helen back? I was like,
Obviously
I'm
not.
also
No.
here. What the hell?
I'm just letting this wash over me until you say something.
It's very busy. There's queues for
actually
drinks
dead right.
everywhere. You want to find a base with access to a toilet. And I think hotels are the best kept secret of London.
I agree. I
Oh.
would say also, depending on what mood you're in, Soho Theatre can be quite fun. It's a nice place to get beers and stand on the street. Usually comics show up, but also queer show up. It's very exciting. Or
Gorgeous.
a divergence of both, as it were. Very exciting. I'll also be at Trans Pride.
Oh,
If you're coming, if anybody wants
Wait,
to.
where's Trans Pride?
Trans Pride, I
still
believe
Pride?
it's July 9th.
July 9th.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come.
Love
I'll
that.
see
Yeah,
you
if
there.
I'm free, I'll be there.
Right.
Where's that at? Soho?
Yeah.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll see you all there. But yeah, it's very exciting that you're gonna have the best time.
Thank
You're gonna
you.
see some things. Mainly,
yeah?
mainly adverts, but
Also, mainly drunk straight girls like me being like, you're just all so beautiful.
and then you come to that hotel bathroom, it's divine.
My name's Helen. I don't agree with the lifestyle, but I will support your outfit.
You live the lifestyle. You date the men. men. You live the lifestyle.
I date so many gay men. But that will be the main feature, I think, of London Pride, and I'm sorry for it.
It's
Can
funny
I tell you
say
about
Oh god, I was going to say it's funny you say about adverts. It must be weird if you come to your first Pride without like knowing any history. Like, oh my goodness, did Barclays throw the first brick at Stonewall? What's going on?
Seriously, that is literally it. You're like,
Question.
Yeah.
Someone explain Stonewall. I know the
are
phrase.
you joking?
No, I'm
You
not
know the
joking.
phrase?
So, okay, you'll like this. It's about Judy Garland, in a way. In a roundabout way.
I love her.
Okay, quiet now. Parish announcement. Back to Andrew.
So,
this is a parish
this is a parish announcement.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Judy Garland has died.
Oh, so sad.
Tragedy.
Parish announcements are now ceased. Carry on with Stonewall.
Anyways,
Judy Garland Stonewall.
No,
so basically,
hold on.
it was the day of Judy Garland's funeral, and the Stonewall pub was a popular gay bar, raided quite a lot by the police because the police
In London.
In New York.
In New
In
York.
New York.
Police always raided gay bars and stuff like that. On the night of Judy Garland's funeral, there was a big party and celebration in Stonewall, and it got raided. And it was out. Kind of the story is that there's a spilling of emotions, partly because of Judy Garland's funeral, but also partly because of this happened a lot, and we're tired of it.
Yeah.
So all the patrons of Stonewall, the drag queens, all the queers, all the allies, just fought back, started fighting the police.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And they won?
I mean,
Led by?
led by Marsha P. Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
I know that name. Amazing.
Yeah.
And so it became a protest. And so essentially, Pride is a protest, baby, is the main thing to remember from that. And also that,
Love this.
not that
Pride
long
is a
ago either.
protest. Do you know what I love about it as well? Is that all the patrons, they joined arms and did a kick line at the police.
No.
Yeah,
did
genuinely.
this
Oh my God,
There are
that's
pictures. The
incredible.
beautiful
Like
pictures.
more protests need choreography.
Agree.
Like imagine the Arab Spring with a can. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Is that pub still going?
Oh, yeah, you can go to it in
it's
New York.
historical.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to go when I go.
I was just about to put a straight reference point in for Helen. It's like the Cheers pub. You
Yeah.
can go see it.
Oh.
You know.
I was genuinely curious because it's one of those things that you hear all the time and then you're like, I just don't know.
You know what you should watch is, have you watched Paris is Burning?
I've watched Pride.
You should watch Paris is Burning.
Is that the drag scene film?
Yeah.
I think I've heard about
Yeah,
this.
it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Also, strong recommend if anybody hasn't watched it. Pose is Divine on.
Also heard about that.
Gorge. Okay, so
Okay, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
happy lessons. This takes me to
Do you reckon
frankly.
Judy Garland was watching them? She knew from up above.
I
looking
think she
down on them.
was supporting them.
I hope so.
Of course she was. They supported her. Girl made all her shoe money off of those girls. Come on.
Did you see Charlie XCX at Glastonbury? Like, this one is for all the gay boys in the crowd, and then literally the whole crowd was like, "Whoa!"
Are you sure they weren't saying who else is here?
I really hope that is actually what was happening. That's fucking beautiful.
What do you mean? What's the question?
Sorry,
Glastonbury looked fucking terrifying, didn't it?
Truly my nightmare.
I saw so many pictures of my friends like smiling, looking like they were having fun.
But like, also they can't have been. They were camping and outside and watching music with all the. There's so many other people.
It's the people.
It's the people.
It's the people.
The people and the touching and the portaloos.
My friends, the Portaloos are fine. You
No,
can put up with anything for 10 seconds. And how long does it
Can't.
take?
I cannot put up with that for 10 seconds.
Okay, whatever. I just think like it's a lot of energy from a lot of different people, and just you don't know where to be. Like it's the same thing I have in Edinburgh. Like I'll be like, oh, I should go see this show. I need to see this show. I need to see this show. I need to catch up with this person.
But on speed, like I hate it.
So I don't know where to be. So I end up just sort of like sitting in a coffee shop, just rocking, watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on my phone on clips.
Yeah,
like
we'd end up in a tent watching reality TV together at Glastonbury, being
we
like,
wouldn't
"Make it
have
be
the
over."
signal. We wouldn't have the signal.
What? There's
Also,
no-
as if you'd get in a tent with me.
There's no signal. I would. You're told. I assume you'd protect me. There's no. There's no signal.
You know, people like piss and shit on the side of other people's tents. Apparently, that's just Reading and Leeds.
This is
But,
like
like,
stressing me out. I don't like.
They
this.
get drunk and they just do whatever they want.
People save up for this. It's a no.
I do want to go one year though.
No.
I heard if you perform at it, you get free tickets.
Yeah, you do. But I've been offered to do so many festivals, and it honestly was such a wonderful point in my career when I could say to my agents, you know what, I'm good.
But that's
Give
when
the
you had
festival
the
tickets to
tarot
somebody
card
else.
reading, you got told your career was like this and I need to say yes to more things.
No.
This is why I'm going skiing in January.
So,
what?
Sorry, what?
Are you doing altitude?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
No, that's the fancy ski festival.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
I'm doing.
I'm sorry, my mistake. I thought the last sentence and the next sentence was connected.
Oh, foolish Catherine.
Silly me.
How dare you think Helen's going to do a sequitur?
I assumed we were having a logical conversation.
I'm trying. I am trying.
No,
to
the
say-
parish announcements are over. There is no format or rules anymore.
You're going skiing in January?
Oh, is this a parish announcement?
No.
I don't know. It's really not clear.
So you're going. Don't cry.
Why
Ellen.
are you
Helen,
skiing?
don't
Where are you
cry.
skiing?
Montreux.
With who?
Helena, my
That's-
agent.
With your agent? You're going skiing with your agent?
Well, I got an offer through for like so.
So it is a gig.
It's a gig. It's in Montreux. But it's not out. I know
Okay,
the festival you're talking
that's
about. It's
exciting.
another comedy festival, and I got a message from Tom Horton, lovely comedian Tom Horton, being like, "Hey, do you ski? Do you want to do a festival?" And I was like, "Don't ski. What's the festival?" Because like I do like traveling with gigs, that's for sure. And then I was like, "Oh, this sounds really fun because you get like free accommodation, like a bit of money for the gigs, but you basically
and you
get
can
a
drink
free
hot chocolate
trip."
in the snow.
But then I was like, have you asked anyone else who's never been skiing before?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be that one who's like waiting in the bottom.
Ask me. I've never been skiing.
And
Well, he hasn't asked me, but I'd like to
you
go.
should ask.
I'm not begging to go skiing.
Yeah, I'll see you better than that.
Wow, I was like,
But then I was like, who else is going? And I was like, maybe there'll be some non-skiers there. And he was like, Ivor Graham. Basically, just listed everyone who's ever been to a private school. And I was like, I don't want to be assuming, but they've all
I think you
skied.
can go ahead and assume. I
they've all
love Ivor
skied.
Graham so much, but I think we can assume the man has.
So my agent got the offer through, and she was like, "Oh, do you ski?" And I was like, "No, I'm trying to say like fuck off. I'm trying to say yes to things." But I got a +1 as an offer, and she was like, "I've been skiing once before. I could try and teach you." And I was like, "Do it, perfect."
Why would you not just learn together as opposed to have the person who's gone once try to teach you?
She's a very confident young woman, and I believe in her. But I think he'll be really good for me. So they can
exciting.
do there's the colour slopes, aren't there? There's like
Yeah, black is scary.
yeah. I learned this on a winter sports game I
Brown
had
is
on the
you
Sega
don't
Mega
eat the
Drive.
snow.
Not the it's not the
Yellow,
same
you
sort of
also
thing.
don't eat the snow.
Unless you made it yellow yourself.
Red.
Self-made, yes.
No.
No.
Yes, it's good for your immune system.
No, absolutely not. This is
Who
not
raised
Bear
you?
Grylls.
Who raised you?
Helen,
okay.
I'm thrilled you're saying yes to things. I did something yesterday that I wouldn't usually do.
You going skiing too?
No, absolutely not.
Donutting,
I got my own-
tobogganing,
No, I just went on a
go-karting.
baking course.
How is that the same a baking
It's
course?
not. I'm just saying. Can I please?
I'm risking my life.
Okay, but can I tell you about? Well,
Can-
funny you should say that.
can I hear about your
please-
baking course,
Yeah.
please?
So I did this bread ahead baking course. I got a gift from my friend Georgie, and it was amazing. A gluten-free course.
Love
it was
Georgie.
gorgeous. I loved the course. I loved the things we made. I loved. It was so joyful, but also
You're literally panicking. Take a breath.
I loved it. I had the best time. I made stunning amaretti. I ate about 20 of them on the tube home. It was delightful. I will say, the people of Chelsea who do gluten-free baking courses are intense.
Just like
and
you.
specifically think themselves to be like a put upon minority.
Just like you.
So one woman said the words, "It's just so great to do a course like this because you meet people with the same problems and minority issues as you." Wait for it. Have you ever gone to a bakery where it's like, this country's so bad. This country hates us. This country hates us. I mean, how many times have I gone to a dinner at a restaurant where the only dessert I could get was a meringue or a brownie or what are they called? Those called a panna cotta.
Oh,
Why?
I love
Because
those.
they're the easiest ones. Why? We're treated so bad. Second class citizens, she said. Also, those are the 3 best desserts. What's wrong with you? Anyway, I was like, who hates brownies? So she said second-class citizens. And then she said, other countries are so much better. You can probably tell, but I've just been on a yoga retreat in Tenerife, hence the tan. And they are so much better in Spain, hence the tan. I was like, do you know what a minority issue is?
Please tell me you got her number and invited her on as a guest.
He's going to be here next week. Of course, her name was Truly, all of these people were like, acting like, listen, I kept being like, yeah, but like it's way better than it was. My granddad was a celiac, right? And he used to have to eat these like what I can only describe as sand cubes and pretend they were bread.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And that was it, right? And he only got diagnosed when he was 80 because his GP was like, who knows? Just eat sausages and cornflakes, both have flour in. Like he had such a horrible life, until he got diagnosed. And I'm like, but there was no amount of like, you try to be like, yeah, but like, isn't it cool things are getting better? Isn't it amazing you can do a course like this? It's like everything I said, she was like, I should probably stop using her name. It was like, yeah, I don't think there's gluten.
I don't think someone who thinks like that is listening to this.
Oh, good point. Although there was a horrible moment where everyone had to go around and say what they tell a story about bread. Very strange. So they all like laid out their woes.
Wait. I used to work in a bakery that did baking courses on the Sunday, and I would get coffee for everyone on the baking course. They go around and they say their names.
You would think.
And they say, oh, I'm here with these people, or this was bought as a gift.
You would think.
Why are you doing a story? Why are you doing a type 5 about bread?
I think the Italian chef really wanted it to, like, us to fill our own time. He had 3 very short recipes. He was like, let everybody do, like, an instrumental to bread, like, do, an interpretive dance on bread. There was a lot of time killing. Fine. These biscuits were so good. They were like genuinely worth it. But also these people were hilarious.
Come on, give us some bread stories. I'm fascinated.
Oh, but it was all like, story was like, please cut out her name. Just bleep her name. Assume her name is a very posh woman's name.
Like Marcia.
But the story... That's perfect. That's allowed. But they were all things like, her story was like, well, my second husband made me move to Cambridge. Outside Cambridge, you understand, because we wanted a bigger property. Now I'm trapped in Cambridge because I'd have to sell my huge house there in order to live in a what? Flat in London?
I love that. She's iconic.
So, of course, my access to gluten-free goods is so limited because, of course, we're treated like second-class citizens. And so I have to drive 15 kilometres to Cambridge to buy gluten-free. And I'm like...
That's not true.
Do you think it should be delivered to your door? Also, I'm pretty sure there's a service that's called online shopping that does exactly that.
Also, there are gluten-free options in London, like...
I don't know, in Cambridge.
In Cambridge, yeah, but there are in Cambridge as well.
No, I know.
Like
this was like, she was so posh upon and so like, this is a minority rights issue, that the couple beside me who like initially were with her, they were like, yeah, it's really hard. It's crappy,
Yeah.
I could feel their like empathy just diminishing. They were like, yeah, no, it's bad. It's not that bad. No, it's bad. No, it's good that we're diagnosed. I mean, it's not. I don't know that I'd go on a march with you. Like it really intense.
So you've got to be careful who you back in a public argument.
You got to be careful who you associate with in a group of strangers immediately. They took to her really quickly because they had a similar age. Thankfully, my ally was the young, cool Australian girl.
Nice, oh, you made a friend?
Nice.
Well, no, but we like...
Oh, you made a friend? No.
But we acknowledged what was happening with our eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
And she asked me, but I thought she was my ally until across the table she was like, what do you do? And I was like, no. And I was just like, comedy. And then I saw...
No, just say midwife. Around. You always just say midwife.
Stop saying her name, please.
I'm sorry. Then this woman said, like, her head like turned around. You know, like when the like devil gets in children and their head spins.
Yeah.
She was like, huh? And I had to be like, and you? To the Australian, and then we moved on.
Why don't you just say midwife?
I will next time.
It's the easiest one.
Why midwife?
Midwife, super simple. They go like, oh, amazing. And you go, yeah. Just like, my mum was a midwife, so I got into it. And then they ask any questions.
Into what? Your mum doesn't bring you to work.
Your mum was a midwife.
I mean...
And then they go like, oh, that's really sweet. And they go, oh, where do you work? And it's sort of like, you just go freelance. So like, I just like private freelance.
Trained by my mother, freelance.
Private freelance.
Feels like maternity. You're not a real...
Is this also got a little bit of like stolen valor?
And
like,
then if they go like, oh my God, like, so like, how many babies do you deliver a week? And just sort of go, actually, I had a bit of a tricky one this week. Do you mind if we don't talk about it? Insinuate you've had an awful time, and then it's over.
Helen,
honestly, it is right. I understand, but it is foolproof. It is foolproof. And also, you both laughed at freelance. There are people who work freelance delivering babies. They're private.
Rewind. How is that
Rent
easier?
our hospital room.
How is that easier than saying my actual job, or assistant, or like a receptionist?
That's good, actually.
Receptionist.
I had never considered receptionist.
Receptionist is the best.
Let's get something really... Yeah.
Also, it's not stolen valor. It's something I've actually done.
That's it. But I also worked in catering, and I was so sick by the end of it. People being like, "What's you like serve tables?" Whereas the midwife, I get a little bit of like respect.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because
you've
you're
not
stealing it.
earned.
And all that happens is you're just nervous that something's going to happen around you and you're going to have to step up as a medical professional.
I think I'm going to go with a receptionist.
Yeah, what?
Okay,
what
well,
if
each
somebody
their own.
starts,
I'm not telling you. I'm just.
having a baby, and they're like, "Oh, thank goodness Helen's here. She's the midwife, and she's freelance as well." So they're like, "There's no."
Well, it's not like I haven't watched Call the Midwife. Like, it's not like I couldn't do a good job.
Wow.
Like, I could guess at it.
Wow.
You pull baby out and put it in towels. Like,
Wow. Okay.
did I do something wrong?
Where did you get your midwife qualifications from? Sorry again.
Her mom.
Her
Royal Holloway University in Egham. Next question.
No.
Yeah.
They even, oh, look, forget it. Okay, this has been really stressful. But I made beautiful bread, beautiful biscuits.
I'm not a
Believe it or
doctor,
not,
but I
that's
am
the end of
considering
this story.
training.
You delivered bread like a little.
I delivered
gluten-free
bread.
baby.
And I made cheese crackers, and that is the end of that story. And it's funny because I was telling a story about a woman who I thought was victimizing herself more than it was necessary, and then Helen somehow took that and ran with it to like an
Don't
extent.
know why you're bullying me. I'm saving lives. I'm creating life, bitch. Should we have our guest on?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Please, God,
Parish
please.
announcement.
No,
It's time
no,
for our guest.
No,
John
no,
Hastings.
no, that's not it. That's not it.
End of Parish announcement.
I'm going to put a rule on Parish announcements, which is that it's just at the start of the episode.
Okay, I actually quite like this format point.
Thank you.
I'm writing it down so we don't
Thank
forget.
you. Okay. Please welcome our guest,
John Hastings.
Hastings. We'll work on it. No.
Okay.
It's John Hastings.
He's here.
What's up, Hogs? Are you obsessed with me and think I'm really fit? Do you want to have a go on Catherine Bohart in the bedroom? Do you want to hear what's happening with Andrew and his penis? Is it an infection or is it just purple? Sign up to patreon.com for more episodes. We do an extra episode every single week. There's over 40 episodes available right now if you join us on Patreon for £5 a month.
Sex with me is not guaranteed.
It's guaranteed.
This is normal coloured. Thank you.
But early access is guaranteed, as is an extra episode. See you on Patreon.
Disclaimer, Catherine Bohart will not have you in her bedroom and Andrew White's penis is a normal pink colour. Thank you very much. Gonna see my sister's snails.
No. Let's
Helen. This is Donkey. This is
Oh, you are
Parish.
someone who just lived in Berlin. This is absolutely
I know.
ludicrous. You're a Japanese girlfriend away from being absolutely, like, not even a human being.
I'm
Just
going to replace myself so I don't want to sleep with my boyfriend anymore with a Japanese body pillow. Like,
Oh my
I'm not
God,
that
yeah,
level.
yeah.
Kamiko-chan. Are we recording that?
Yeah.
No, we should be.
Do you think...
John Hastings, hello, welcome.
Hello, Helen, Catherine. So exciting to be here in the shipping container.
I'm thrilled to have
Don't
you.
give away our
Oh my God,
secrets.
why would you say that?
Guys, it's a podcast. I am so against that this is like, I am an old enough comedian that I remember a podcast used to be one of these microphones in someone's bedroom, unmade bed.
The good old days.
8 people crowded around it, just pure talking, like actual
Wow.
behind the back gossip of comedy. Like that's what a podcast is. We're supposed
Pom-com pod.
no, like ComCom Pod is like, what's your art? I'm talking about like Nathaniel is a hack. I am not. Fuck him, like that sort of stuff. You know what I
You're
mean?
so old. The comedians were called things like Nathaniel.
First
and
of all,
Jeremiah
easy
and
with
Aaron.
easy with the you're so old.
No, come on, you've done one of these. I did a, like, we've all had traumatic podcast experiences. I cried on one once.
Whoa.
I have no idea what happened. I just lost it, and then I listened to the first 5 minutes of the episode to be like, I wonder if they kept it in. And the episode starts with, I really thought she would have got in contact to say to cut things out, but she didn't. So anyway, here's Helen Bauer. And I was like,
What
oh,
podcast?
God.
What podcast
is it? How do we listen? Immediately tell us.
Mopod, Sophie Hagen's podcast.
No.
I have no idea what was happening.
What did you cry about?
Yeah, what-
I
did you
don't
cry
know.
about?
I don't. She does this thing where she asks you a question and then she stops and listens. Have you heard about this?
No. Can you repeat what you just said?
That
I
will
was
never
just.
happen
I was.
here. That will never
no.
happen.
I was.
You shout over us or you don't get hurt.
Yeah,
boy.
guys, I'm a straight white man. I know how to do podcasts.
No, wait. Okay, I do not know how to do podcasts. I did a podcast recently. I genuinely don't know what this one is called, so I'm not pretending.
TrustyHogs.
So as
Helen,
in,
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to talk about something else. Catherine,
that's fair.
no, tell us your anecdote. Your anecdote
No,
was
it's not good.
it was classic bit. I'm from America now. We do bits.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm doing a bit. Right. I'm flying to Berlin. This is a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, here we go.
Of course.
A new comedian there messaged me going like, hey, I just heard you on this podcast in the UK. I didn't realize you started in Germany. Can you come on my podcast? It's sort of about comedy, but it's a bit about mental health, but mainly about comedy. I was like, 100%. That sounds fine. You're new. You're sweet.
Support.
I'll come to yours.
Yeah.
Also, she was like living a way that I could walk so I could get new Pokemon gyms. Fucking amazing. So I walked to hers in Friedrichshain. I get there. She has a notepad full of notes of me on other podcasts. I'm not joking. Talking about like those little things when you're talking about podcasts and you just sort of go like, you mention something casually.
Your life.
Terrified.
Okay.
This is awesome.
She was sweet, but she had everything laid out as to like, so you mentioned this eating disorder casually once. Do you want to discuss that? And I was like, probably not.
This person just wants to wear your skin as a jacket.
But then every time I went, oh, well, yeah, I usually talk about my mum quite a lot in stand-up. And she was like, yeah, because me and my mum have a difficult relationship. But obviously hers is really difficult. My mum just looks at me weird sometimes. So I opened up to her and I go, yeah, we have like a tricky relationship. It's a bit up and down, but it's good and all. And then she was like, my mum told me I was fat and I had to lose weight and she wouldn't let me go in the house until I had. And I was like, okay, this is stupid white girl. It was.
Did you let her know? It's like, I think you're talking about your dad. That's not a mom thing. That's a dad thing.
That's amazing. I also hope you called Anne afterwards to be like, you know what? You're
Yeah.
not so bad, Ma.
Your mom's
Yeah,
name is
she-
Anne Bauer?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
course it is.
that's a leader of men name.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I could see her on a hill, you know what I mean?
We're all named after her as well. Helen Ann Bauer, Mary Ann Bauer, Edward Michael Allen Bauer. Yeah.
Alan.
It's a stretch.
My microphone unplugged how ridiculous that last one was. What do you say that Michael one again? Michael Ann Bauer? That's like being
Michael
like,
Alan. She said Alan.
no. That's like I can rhyme anything with orange. Borange, corange, jorange.
Edward Michael Allen Bauer.
I think your mom is George Foreman.
And I love her for it.
Do you know who
Well,
George
then why haven't I got a grill?
Exactly correct. That's my question for you. Because you know George Foreman named all of his kids some variation of George Foreman.
No.
Like Georgina Foreman.
No,
like we can look this up. I think it's like George Foreman Jr., other George, stupid George. Like,
Oh, Stupid George is my favourite so far.
yeah, no,
sad.
stupid George is the best one.
She's a nice girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Grillin' George.
Yeah. George Foreman the third, George Foreman the sixth, George Foreman Jr., Georgetta Foreman.
Didn't even fucking go with the George name we have.
George Big Wheel Foreman.
Stop it.
His name is Big Wheel.
Stop it.
He was conceived at the fairground.
So he's got 12 kids, 5 of whom are also named George.
No, sorry, no. If you can't think of new names, you're not allowed to have 12
I disagree.
children.
I'm having a child named John Big Wheel Hastings. So
Not John Bastings.
no, that's what you call him, John Basting.
I decided to change the surname.
Change the
I
surname.
don't know how it works, John.
I think
This
Catherine's
is
been
incredible.
overriffed. Yeah.
I have. That's exactly what happened there. You saw a comic break. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it the letters or the words? What are we changing?
But you could do loads of things like Jonah. That's quite close to John. Joanna.
Here's the really sad
Jo- Hannah?
Johnny.
is my family has a tradition where the firstborn of every generation is named John.
Yeah, you're American. Yeah.
I'm a Canadian. How dare
Same
you?
thing. It's the
It
same
is-
thing.
It is not the same thing. I believe in abortion. I performed 2
We've
on the
got
way
Tim
here
Horton.
on the Victoria line. You come in.
Whipped it out.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do it. I don't know what the
I'm
machine
actually a
noise.
trained midwife, so I think I would know.
I do not think you want a midwife who really is good at abortions. I feel like that's the worst time.
Have you seen Vera Drake? I haven't actually. I don't know why I said that.
This is all hell. So, so John, you're back from the States.
I certainly am.
You live in LA now?
I live in LA now. I'm big time. I'm
Yeah.
wearing flip-flops to prove it.
You really are.
Oh my god.
I know, it's crazy. He doesn't have the feet for it, but he's done it
I do
anyway.
not have the feet for it, but I don't care.
Nice.
I know, but
I
they're.
haven't even looked. I haven't even looked. Put them down.
You're not
Put
like
them-
feet? Are
I'm
you not
good,
a feet
thank
person?
you.
Oh,
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I knew. I felt like Catherine would be a person you're not into.
She doesn't like
I
anything.
don't hate them, but I do think they're private. Now, socks on, please.
Stop. That was the most Irish Catholic phrase. I don't.
I didn't mean abortions. I meant your feet.
No, I understand. No, but the idea that you said they're private is just so like. No, we just don't like. Oh, you.
I
would
once
do-
pulled down her jeans and looked at her vagina, and she got so angry.
Catherine.
I know. I'm a prude.
Yeah.
What?
There was only like 7 people there. It wasn't like it was public.
Did this actually happen?
Yes.
Well, what was the
That's
context?
the art
What's the
centre.
context of it?
The context is Helen tells everyone I'm the bully in our friendship.
No, you're the bully, but you're just a very fun bully. That's the
The
thing.
context is Helen had, without warning, gotten her own vagina out to show me because she was supposed to have. So, John, she was supposed to have sex with the man who'd cancelled on her, which meant that she'd done the gardening, but there was no viewers to see it, right? So she was,
That's never good.
So she's furious. She needs to show this purple thing off to somebody. She comes in and shows it to me. I'm like, actually more interested than I thought it would be. She talks a lot. There's a lot of lore about her particular cunt. So I
Very
thought,
present.
yeah, so I thought
Longer
let's have a
lips.
see. Actually, leads its own way, I'd say. And so so I had
Friendly.
to look. Helen thought that the natural reciprocity here, even though she showed me without warning, said Vag, would be that she gets to pull my pants down and have a look at mine.
Can I think I know what her logic is that led to this. Let me just, I want to see if
Oh
I can
no,
guess.
that's not. This from a man will be even worse. Talk me what through consent,
what
John.
what I think Helen thought was, I co-host a podcast, and I
We didn't co-host a podcast by then.
Then we were co-hosting a Zoom show during lockdown.
Before that.
It was before that?
Yeah.
You're on your own, Bauer. You're on your fucking own. I was trying to find some sort of bridge of like, well, we do all these things together. I've done it. It would only be.
We're
like,
talking years ago.
Yeah, you are a Louis C.K. style predator, my friend.
Yeah.
I know, but I do think we are wise.
What a terrible reaction to that. That's not how you're supposed to react to that.
Right?
You're supposed to go, how dare you? Not a, thank you. Okay, so.
I am really working on my stand-up.
I've never seen someone. I don't think cancel culture is a thing in the way that it's screamed out on so many podcasts, but I've never seen someone self-cancel, and so therefore you just keep going. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'm cancelable because I'm so thick. Okay? And I think there's a difference. And also, there's never been a woman cancelled. And I think it'd be interesting to be the first.
I don't think anybody gets cancelled. That's the whole fucking
Yeah, that's
point.
the whole thing. Louis C.K. has a Grammy. Like, I remember the day that happened,
Yeah.
someone
London,
said,
like very soon.
yeah, like it's just,
Stadiums, not just like not small rooms, stadiums.
like that's what I just come down to. It was like, what you're saying, it doesn't fit logic. He has a Grammy. Oh, we're going to get comments on the YouTube
Also,
video
did
now.
he look at their vaginas?
There'll be supportive comments. Our listeners are adorbs.
Oh, great. You never know.
No, they'll be like, "Thank you."
But it's like besides all of this, the fucking ickiness of it all, it's just like what you're saying doesn't logically
Oh,
make
I wrote
sense.
an article about this recently. Like, no one actually gets cancelled. They quit. Like, the only way to actually, like, if you have a big storm and then you genuinely quit performing, then people are like, oh, they got cancelled. It's like, no, they quit. They could have kept going.
Yeah, or they
could
do,
have filled
or they
rooms.
do.
Or they
Like-
do. Most of them do.
Like I was in LA during the whole Chris D'Elia. People were being like, "What the fuck is this?" And
What's
then
this one?
Chris D'Elia.
He played a pedophile on you, and then it turns out is a pedophile.
Which I think technically, and let's be very careful because he
Allegedly.
might be very
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, supposedly
Okay.
was like texting underage girls that possibly could have been. There was a bunch of sort of things that were very uncomfortable. He was suddenly gone, left it a year, came back, and just kind of kept going. At the same time, someone he was also in the crew with, a guy named Brian Callen. 3 women came out and was like, he fucking raped me, and he, in the most crazy way, just went, no, I didn't, sued them for defamation. They were like, well, we don't have money to defend this, and he just kept going. And it's this weird sort of thing of like, guys, like, why, what, he just kept going there, like, whether or not it was a thing, but he never, like, he just went, no, and he's like, I don't know what happened, but I know that guy's a bad, like, I've met the guy,
Right.
there's something about him that's just, I haven't met him.
No, there's
I
someone that works
actually-
for my
I
local
actually-
co-op who's like that. Like,
You know what I
it's
mean?
bad vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I walked by him and the way he gave like the hi-fi hand, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
So what we need.
Even
is-
if I want tobacco, I'm going self-service.
I want
Yeah.
exactly. I want like a word for that classification again. Because cancel culture. I want like it's
Yeah.
like they're a zippy yeah. It's just
Yeah,
like go
yeah.
over there with your
Uncancelable.
with your fucking leather jackets and your bullshit and leave us to our enjoyment.
Yeah,
you
leave us
fucking
alone.
Loser. Like it's just.
Yeah. It's so. I think the word you're looking for is criminal, allegedly.
Yes.
And that's the one.
I actually learned a lot about this weekend.
What did you do this weekend?
Also, why are you still learning about consent? No. Like, how do you not know yet?
For anyone who doesn't know, I have a tricky
Helen is a
relationship with
straight white
consent.
man. Like I know, it's
He
like we
really
only heard about it in 2017.
I
and it's
listened
been
to
a
too
lot
much Dido when I was growing up, so I thought when you ask out a guy and they say no, you can give it another shot. Okay, so when I was in year 8, I asked out the same boy like 200 times, and he was like no, and I was like, see you in 2 months. So yes, there was a misunderstanding there of like, but he was gay, but I didn't know. I just thought we both liked Shakira. So in my defense, there was a misunderstanding
I mean,
early
those
on.
hips do not lie.
Yeah. right?
She's amazing.
Who cheats on Shakira? We don't have time.
What I've learned,
Wait a minute. Someone cheated on Shakira?
Gerard Piqué, her husband, isn't
I
it?
assume it was he just cheated
I'm
on her
saying
with a floating ass. Like there's like if Shakira is your type, what's after Shakira?
I have no idea. That's allegedly.
I'll tell you what I learned.
How worried am I that these people are listening? Go on.
So basically, it's like, 'cause it's very different in America and the UK as far as like the defamation laws system. So in the UK, if you accuse someone of something, the burden of proof is on you to prove that. So you have to have, so you make an accusation. It's not as easy as being like, you've got to be brave and come forward and tell people, because then you have to then pay everything to fucking take them on, which is a huge undertaking and also a very tricky thing to do in general. But in America, it's on the person you accuse to prove they didn't do it.
Really?
So it is better that this is what I learned. See, I told you I'm smart. And they then have to do that so you can accuse people more freely in America. Whereas here, if we do it, we have to financially follow through. Because this is what happened with the big Murdoch case. That guy was bankrolling everyone.
The other thing with America is it can't be something that like affects their job. Like you can never call a doctor a quack, or they can sue you for $1 million billion because that removes their ability to earn a living forever.
Wow.
Like it's so if you notice, like America, there's certain language that people always dance around. They'll always throw allegedly before like a variety of specific words.
Because then you get sued for defamation.
You get sued for defamation. In that, the best illustration of this is if you ever watch Penn and Teller's show Bullshit. Where
No, thank you.
I haven't, but I love Penn and Teller.
So you don't like Penn and Teller? You don't like magic, do you?
No, of course I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I love them.
Think that
Come on, John.
but I think that this is great. Like it's all in line. You want people in socks. The rabbit should be in a cage or in the wild and not in your hat, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, why are you wearing a hat? Get a grip.
It's where the rabbit lives.
Cool hat, John.
I'm losing my hair and I'm in my 30s.
That's a better reason than a rabbit guy. Come on.
There's also a rabbit in here.
Funny.
So they couldn't say multi-level marketing when they were making fun of multi-level marketing. But what they did was they stood in front of a pyramid and said, these companies are very bad.
Yep.
And the reason why they did that is if you said pyramid scheme, it has been proven in an American court of law that represents fraud. Yep. Therefore, you're calling them fraudulent. Therefore, they can be like, you just cost us our company $10 billion, please.
It's a crazy place to live.
So the reason why I believe why Brian Callen was able to sue those people that accused him was he was like, we'll prove it and you can sue him for a lot of money because that will affect his career. And it's just so fucking dark and weird.
That's horrible.
But
But which one's better? Do you know what I mean?
I know, I don't.
It's nice because sometimes I thought this week I was depressed about the state of abortion rights in America, but it turns out it can be both. It can be all. It can be everything.
Guys, we shut the world down for 2 years and then started it up in a day, and just everything doesn't work. That's my theory, and it's just going to be a wild 4 years while we figure it out. And then
you've had a wild 4 years as it is.
Can I say this, ladies and gentlemen? Catherine Bohart, I had a crazy 18 months. Catherine Bohart's the only person in my life who gave me a genuine react. Everyone else was like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "I'm looking for like shock and awe here, people." Like,
really, I was the only one.
Only one on a Zoom show in the height of lockdown.
John,
what are we talking about?
John's doing a set in the middle of on Gigless.
I'm Gigless.
He's doing a set, and he just like casually mentions he's getting divorced.
Getting divorced.
So I was like,
was I there for this?
I can't remember
if
what.
You weren't, we wouldn't talk about it. So let's carry on.
Yes, Helen.
Yes.
You were. I believe actually you were there.
Okay.
Yeah,
my
memory is
still. I drank through Gigless,
yeah. We were so drunk for all of that. But
Man, I will say this lockdown in the UK seemed fun because everyone just seemed fucked up for 2 years in their homes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like America, like LA was just stoned.
No, we were
not nearly as fun.
Wankered.
Yeah, just people with lamps. Anyway, so on that, and I was divorced, that I nearly died in a bicycle accident because those things happened very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think I even divulged that I met a polyamorous person on the internet, and then we got naked and fingered our butts for each other in a post-divorce crazy celebration.
Wasn't there a dom dynamic that you admitted to on the Zoom that you now haven't brought up?
I don't know if there was a dom dynamic, but she did tell me to do it, and I thought that was nice.
That's what it was. There was something in it. I was like,
can we just start at the beginning of all of this?
We can start at
the world locks down. Go.
Okay. The world locks down. I sat in my apartment because I basically hadn't been home for like 2 years. I never owned a television. I had no furniture. So the day locked down, and I went and appeared on America's Got Talent.
Well, I saw
Okay,
this.
you're going to
This
need
is
to.
amazing.
So you just moved to LA. The world locks down.
So
You'd
I-
entered America's Got Talent.
Well, here's the thing: is I didn't tell anyone. I left the UK at the end of 2017. I just didn't tell anyone and kept working here, and it worked like a fucking dream. People just were like, "Oh, I guess you're out of town." I just be like, "Oh, I'm out of town. Can I do?" And then in July and a bit of September, I would do every gig in the UK, like triples everywhere, and then just fuck off, and no one knew I didn't live here.
That's insane.
So good.
For years, it got to the point. I met with.
I really thought you lived here.
Yeah, everyone did. Yeah, so I moved there and to not affect work over here, not be out of sight, out of mind. And then lockdown kind of gave it away because I was like, all of you were in the night and I'm literally on a rooftop. Be like, it's very sunny in Finsbury Park right now. So I did that to get my now ex-wife into the country. We going through every process because of Trump.
Into the States.
Into the States. We finally had to get married. That was at the end of 2019.
Yeah.
Ticking along, running around. I was here in February of 2020 and New York in February of 2020.
Wow.
Definitely got that first strain. I was everywhere. And then I went home, and then all this time I was secretly preparing to do America's Got Talent.
Right. Wow.
Show up March the 13th. They've shut everything down. It was just me, a guy dressed like a chicken, another comedian, and a bunch of opera stars from Italy.
What?
Because so what it was that it's so weird. Do you remember as lockdown was coming, where it was like, everyone only wash your hands. Make sure to wash your hands. We may never open the borders again. Things may they never knew if you could get it.
And you had to like touch elbows with everyone. That was the main one.
Yeah. Touch elbows with everyone or full tongue kiss. Those are the only two ways. So we sat there as they had anyone who had an international flight could leave. I wish I had lived in England at the time. I could have gone earlier. Instead, I'm the second last person at 10 at night after the governor of California has come on and be like, if you are out, go home. Like, party's over. And I'm staring.
You and the chicken guy are like, this is urgent.
Yeah, I got to be on telly.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So I do it. It goes very well. It's on the internet. Please check it out. I would really appreciate it. I then, and this
Can you see the world dying in your eyes?
So I literally rambled and just talked to Howie Mandel about being Canadian for 15 minutes, and they edited it out. Like, we just talked about like being young comedians at Yuck Yucks. We talked about a guy named Howard Wagman who still owns the Ottawa.
You had all the time in the world. What?
Yeah, like I was just panicked, and it was just like, because I didn't remember I was doing television, and then you get into a room the size of the fucking Hammersmith Apollo that's empty except for Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Howie Mandel, and the crew, and you're like, well, I'm glad this gets to be the last thing anyone gets to see of my comedy.
What?
You crushed it.
Great.
But say, yeah.
Thank God for my Catherine Bohart determination at running a set.
Committed.
Yeah, I'm Helen on the streets, but Catherine Bohart on the stage. That doesn't rhyme. You know what I'm saying? And thank God for that. And now this is the part of the story I love. This shows most amazing show business victory ever. Who knew I could do that? Like Simon Cowell giving me the attaboy. Terry Crews is touching my back. A lawyer. Yeah, for like half an hour, me and Terry Crews just sat in an alcove because they were like changing lights, and he kept asking me. And I asked him like, "Those are great shoes," and he's like, "Oh, they're custom." And then he goes, "Do you get any custom clothes, John? You're a very big guy like me." And I was like, "No, Terry.
I wear wrestle t-shirts. What's your question?"
This was $6 at a Target. What do you want?
Very nice.
Thank you.
You're
agree.
welcome.
Isn't it fun that he's shirtless on my shirt?
Oh, bit of fun.
Isn't
Very
that-
nice.
make sure you're watching on
Love
YouTube.
it.
That is fun.
Love that. That is fun. Go on.
Anyway, so that was, and then I'm out on the street, and then there's no Ubers. I don't drive I didn't own a car. There's no. How the fuck do I get home? I'm in a different city from my house. So I'm like, I'll take LA public transport the day of pandemic. And by the way, LA public is not like the tube. It is super scary. There's gang problems. Like, they control different lines. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
God.
It's wild.
What?
America's the best, guys. Like, it's exactly what you want. Like, it's like in England, you can't ever say like, don't go over there. There's a gang. In LA, you could be like, what are you doing? The Latin Kings?
Like
Anyway.
Southwestern Railway would be run by a gang.
No, they would just control the act. They would just, one of the cars, they'd just be partying. Just don't go in one of those cars.
Oh my God.
Fascinating.
So here's what England is England like sees a problem and just ignores it. Like, you're
Thank you.
that's on fire. And it's not. And you're like,
Yeah.
But no, there's flames. And they're like, yeah, it's not though. America is like, that's on fire. Just watch out for that. And you're like, are you going to do anything about that? You're like, no, it's the firehouse. Okay, let's go. Everyone in the house is on fire. Like, what about the last week in America makes you not, like, that's exactly where they're like, you guys need to do something about that. And they're like,
I would thrive there.
Yeah, you would.
It's in the chaos. It's so fun. Anyway, so I get on LA public transport. People are coughing. People are wet. It's very.
With what?
I'm not asking.
Okay. Common sweat for
What
anyone
I
who
have,
wasn't sure.
I have thought about this. There was one woman wearing a mask, and forever I will wonder, what was she about to do or coming from that involved a mask? Because there was nothing to do with she was not because it was a pandemic. There was something, she was about to commit a crime. Speaking of crimes, as I get off, the other guy who gets off with me runs up to a cop, calls the cop the N-word, and then they have a full fist fight. And I remember, I'm just looking as this is like police are rushing, like who saw this scene? And I looked and I went, 27 minutes ago, I was on America's Got Talent. And now I have to just quickly give a statement to the police about a racially motivated hate crime. Weirdest part, both guys were black. That's what I will never truly understand. But hey, what are you going to do?
You think that's the weirdest part?
Of the entire thing? Yes.
Okay.
Because you're in the train covered by wet people being like, I was on America's Got Talent.
God, we've still got so much more to come.
I know, he's not even divorced yet.
Like,
Not even divorced.
Crazy.
Don't worry. The first part of the pandemic moves very quickly.
It's Edinburgh Fringe. Andrew, what are you up to?
Oh, well, Edinburgh's turning into a bloody pigsty because all the hogs are going up. I'm up at 6:50 every day at the Caves. My show is called Andrew White, brackets for Not in a Gay Way. Helen, when's your show?
I'm in a fucking pigsty of a bunker at the Pleasance Courtyard at 5:40 every day. Come roll in the muck with me for Madam Goodtit. Bohart?
I'm getting mucky at 3:20 at Monkey Barrel 1, and I'd love to see you there every day at the Fringe, apart from 16th of August. Bye.
Let's get in the
See you
style.
there.
Bye.
Sorry, what?
It's a happy ending.
Thank you, Helen.
Oh my goodness.
It's a happy ending.
I'm
So
going
you
to, for the
And he's
benefit
got
of
two
listeners,
really
I'm
sexy
gonna cut
scars.
back in from the extras now into the main episode. So you just see our reactions to what was an amazing journey, only in the extras. Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. Whoa.
Rewind.
Okay.
Welcome. We're in the main episode. We just lost our minds, but because it was so much, it's in the patron extras.
Yeah. you can
Welcome
check-
back to the main episode. We're all in a bit of a...
But John is about to explain to us how, and you'll have to listen to the Patreon for the details, how being close to death changed your perspective.
Is what it is I just don't care about a bunch of shit anymore. That's what it is. I do not.
Does that have like diminishing returns? Like, has that stopped being as true?
No, it's what it is like, it sounds really like something you read on the front of a fucking emo album, but it's like, I nearly died. Like, a person I would say it was my best friend at the time died. Mm-hmm. I nearly had to give a shitload of money to the U.S. government. I had my bank accounts for, like, you have to listen to the Patreon episode to figure out the backstory and all this, but it's like, all that stuff is going, why am I worried that I'm not doing that? I don't give up. Like, it's like, oh, well, I can't be, they didn't...
It's a bigger
show
picture you're breaking.
didn't come to my Edinburgh show in 2019.
Yeah.
And what am I? I'll be like, I'll be all right. I might get on that show.
It's a bigger picture perspective, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's also just like-
It's not... Yeah.
I wouldn't even say like I like when you say bigger picture, but it's more like I could be dead. Like my mom could be like, oh, I remember when I had a son, and now she still can say that. So I'm like, I'm kind of fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing with it that I really find, and I think is important to remember, especially when it comes to being in the arts, is that they took all of this away from us, and we are back, not better than ever,
People got to stop saying better than ever. We are back.
We are back. It is not
At
better.
the bare minimum.
Yeah, people at bare minimum, but like, and it's that sort of stuff. That's really changed my perspective. I think it's also I have a much more of a value and ownership over my life. Have you guys read about any of this sort of stuff? Of the idea that it is okay, Catherine. I think this is important for you in your friendship with Helen because she seems to be judging you a lot. Is that it is. Okay for you to be you? Do you think that I should keep my feet to myself?
Yeah.
And that, Helen should not have just whapped out her flaps 7 to 10 years ago? How long ago was it?
They were so...
It was like 4.5
hairless.
years ago.
And
Yeah,
they
she
were
really
clean.
needed to show them off. I get that part. I do get because there's a tiny window, John, where you don't have the bumps of the regrowth.
Interesting, and
And you feel robbed when someone's like, "I'm gonna fuck you." You're like, "Cool, let me do this." For that bit, I got it was the
My feelings were hurt.
Of course, but my question is also who cancels a sex date? I don't think I've ever canceled.
Great. Now we're talking. Now we're asking the big question.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Because
Do not get me started.
Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, John would never cancel on.
I've
sex
never
with you.
canceled. I would. You know what? Let me say this: if a sex date is one of the examples, if the train is closed in London and only people who live in London would understand this, I'll take an Uber. Even if,
Whoa.
north to south, north to south. I'll cross a river in a car. That's
Want to hear
unbelievable.
something tragic?
Go ahead.
He drove.
What are you talking about? He came?
He drove. No, he could have driven.
What an absolute. I don't know what word to use.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, what a.
I did the next.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Okay, listen to the patron extras for that to be explained. Should we solve a problem?
I think you're
We
the
better,
perfectly
we
placed
better.
guest to solve
I mean,
any
goddamn
problem.
right. I still.
Wow.
Well,
I can't believe you went back and fucked him, though. I would not have fucked him.
I got very little dignity.
John, don't lie.
I mean, what did he look like? Was it
Exactly. Thank you, John.
Like a big teddy bear.
This has been a journey.
I know,
real
right?
journey.
So let's hear somebody else's problem because I assume John's response is,
this whole
please.
inbox
Have you heard what happened to
pales
me?
in comparison.
Hey, everyone's problem is their problem, and it is their journey on life. Just
You
so that
shouldn't
my
compare
journey is to call you a
tragedies.
fucking wuss, bro.
What did you say, Helen Bauer?
You shouldn't compare tragedies.
You shouldn't, but Helen, because that's Helen's job.
Yeah, but it's so fun too, right?
Right, it is.
Like you don't want to see me around some people's COVID statuses because I am bitchy as hell.
Nice. Let's hear it.
So this is a problem about online etiquette and kind of boundaries and all that sort of stuff. It is from A.
Hi.
Hello.
They say some very lovely things about the podcast, and then they say,
What, you're going to just skip over those?
yeah.
Okay, so
Am I mentioned?
Absolutely love the podcast, and never thought I'd be writing to you for advice or opinions, but this happened to me today. I am a male professional musician, songwriter, composer for 30 years.
Yes.
Worked with lots of people over the years, lots of different ages, nationalities, groups, and I'm in lots of Facebook groups to collaborate with people, advertise jobs, etc. Earlier today, there was a post in one of the Facebook groups from a 21-year-old Ukrainian lady saying how kind she found the British people and that she's got a work permit and is actively looking for work in the music industry.
Lush.
I'm currently working some new material up and I'm always looking for new voices. So I left a comment asking if she had any samples for her singing work online.
Yes.
A few hours later, another lady replied to my comment saying, okay, that's a bit creepy. I asked her why, and she replied saying that it was inappropriate considering the nature of the post. I asked why it was inappropriate to ask a singer for samples of their work and pointed out that I've done this many times over the years. And then she sent a DM saying that she didn't want to embarrass me in the forum, but the reason it was inappropriate to ask is that the lady involved is 21 years old and a refugee who's brand new to this country, and I should be careful and considerate not to overstep. I didn't reply to the message as I was quite confused and annoyed. I can't see that I've done anything wrong, and my friends and family I've talked about this with can't see it either, but it has knocked my confidence, and I don't want to overstep the mark when messaging people or commenting like this before.
I'm going to say this. I really like this question, and that I think it gives us a nice opportunity to discuss online etiquette.
Yes.
This is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I think this
So-
is fucking mad.
The questions are: did I do anything wrong? Should I be worried about contacting people in the future?
No.
No.
Or kind of how should I approach this in the future?
Can I say, just as a starting point, I think it's really cool that you got this feedback that you innately disagree with, but still are curious enough about it to want to know
That's
how,
nice.
if you did make a mistake, and if you did, how you could correct for it, because you're aware of your gender and your power in this dynamic. So I really respect that you're curious, even though you could be solely defensive. However, that is not to say that I think you did something wrong. I'm just saying it's good for us to be open-minded, and then also to be aware that other people on the internet can be batshit.
I want to just agree with Catherine, and double. I also like that you asked the question because there isn't a lot of guidance, especially for the straight boys, some of us are good boys, but we just don't know how to behave as we understand these new paradigms, and then we get into exactly these situations where we go, what do I do?
I think there is guidance.
But in these
But I think that I know what you mean. That
Yeah.
like it's confusing when It's okay to be confused, actually, is my point. And I think it's great that you're asking in this situation if you have done something wrong. I think a couple of things that are clues that you probably didn't do anything wrong. And obviously we haven't seen the comment, right? And nor do I work in the music industry. But it seems like, what? I know, it's crazy.
I
do. But Helen, God. Okay, gross. You've touched your face so much today. The point is that I think one good sign that you haven't done anything wrong is that you responded publicly. So I find generally men being creepy don't tend to do that as much as you would think.
Oh, yes.
As in, like,
that's my initial reaction is it's not a DM. Chasing. You ask once, they don't respond, leave it, it's fine.
And the second thing to say is I actually think that if you have done this, and this is what you usually do, this is your usual protocol, I find this woman jumping to this other woman's defense very odd when what you've done is treat her like any other peer, which I don't think her being 21 or an immigrant should inhibit her from being respected as.
You're suggesting that she doesn't know what she's doing and doesn't know how to like function as a working musical adult. Yeah.
It's also weird that a person jumped in to defend somebody who hasn't themselves said, I take issue with this. Like that happens a lot on the internet where you're like, occasionally people will do that on my behalf online. People are like, hey, leave. And I'm like, I know this person is joking, or I don't care, or I agree. Often, it's like what?
There is also, and this is purely a theory. I don't know but I think the second person posting, if I had to guess, it is a very British and English maneuver. Particularly, I'm going to say English and Americans do this thing where certain people from other countries, they're like, well, they need help. They've come here covered in soot, and they've never seen a potato, and it's like. She's Ukrainian, man. Like that is a more technologically advanced country than England. Like they had tap in 2014, baby. Don't worry about it. And I think that also may have played into the second poster. But I think everyone was being good boy and girl.
I think you're good.
Yeah, I think so too. Can I just when you say tap, do you mean like contactless or tap dancing or
contactless payments?
All of the
tap
above.
dancing.
No, I think that the woman sounds like she's being condescending to the first poster, and also it sounds like you did everything appropriately, and if you behaved as you would in all other circumstances, then it's fine. And I also think it's good that you asked the question, but also the thing I would say is it's very easy, I think, when you're online to feel like if somebody criticizes you, to get into a hot panic of either defensiveness or shame, where you're like, everyone must think this about me, and there's no like, I can't scrub this out. This is horrible. But most people, and I don't think this can be overstated, couldn't give a shit. So if you're thinking other people are like, they think I'm a bad person, they don't. They only care about themselves. And most people won't have seen that post, and a lot of people will have seen the post and gone, it's weird she said that.
Yeah. So here's a follow-up question then. How would you respond to the person jumping in?
Oh, ignore it.
Just ignore it?
Ignore it, 100%. Don't get involved,
You're both wrong. You leave a very confusing emoji underneath hers.
Actually, change of plan. This is great.
That the smiley face with the money eyeballs and the dollar bill coming out of the tongue?
Or the one that's melting?
Yeah.
Plus the melting one. Go ahead,
Third
Catherine.
option.
Yeah.
Or one of the animals.
Thank you, Helen.
Like a cow.
Third option. Cow doesn't feel like it's confusing. It feels like it's a emoji with the tongue out and the dollar signs looks like you are in fact trying to be predatory.
Shit.
Okay, the chicken.
The chicken's
makes
never done
more
anything.
sense. The chicken does make more sense.
It's
proud of me.
Or like a random flag of any country.
No flags.
No flags. No, because then you're saying you stand with NATO. You don't stand with NATO. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. Third option. I do think that ignoring it is one valid option, especially if you feel like this person can't be argued around, and also it's like such a energy sapping thing to give it to them. And also, do you really care what they think? But if it is bothering you to the point that it's still upsetting you, I think I would, on the public forum, not the DM context, I would say, hello, this is how I engage with all posts of this like for my working peers. It's always been the case that I've done so, because in order to hire somebody, I need evidence of their work and an understanding of their style. To any other end that you think it's offensive, I don't understand. Have a nice day. Won't be getting back in touch. Like something very, this is how I always behave because I'm respecting her and treating her like a peer. Have a nice day. But honestly, I don't think it's worth it, because I think that kind of person wants to think you're a bad person.
So emoji.
Yeah.
No emoji. I would just leave it.
I said leave it first. I win.
I'm still emoji. But I want to follow up and just ask you guys this thing. This is something I've noticed post everything, which is I'm more and more not confronting people because I don't want to get involved in. You see how you're saying that thing of like, if you go to them and explain, this is how actually I've always done it, then what I always find is then someone doesn't understand that that's just an explain. They go, oh, that's actually another point of their argument. Let me tell them why they shouldn't. And then it's 30 minutes later.
But this is why you just don't get involved.
That's why you go emoji, because then they're like, what's with that chicken? And then you pretend like you didn't post the emoji.
Oh, you make yourself seem mad.
And then you delete all of your profiles, start them up again, only follow that person, delete those profiles.
You are a fucking genius.
Thank you, Helen.
Hey,
Thank
you're
you,
fine.
Helen.
Do you have one more problem for us, Andrew?
How long have we been doing this? Good Lord.
How long have we been doing this?
Do you want it to stop?
No. I'm having a wonderful time.
Or like how professional
have
are
a
we
safe
as a
word?
I have no time constraints
Do
or
you
anything.
want a safe word?
Yes, my safe word. I'm borrowing a friend of mine's safe word that I discovered because they said a weird word down a phone, and I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, I'm seeing a guy and we're doing a thing, and he like just, and I was like, well, anyway, pineapple would be my safe word.
Right.
I think it's the most popular safe word.
Is that
I know, and I know this. One of the reasons
I'm
why
just
is
going to
'cause
take this ball.
you
Thank you.
never think, you won't think. There's no reason in sex for you to just say pineapple.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most common. Okay.
I mean, some quite big ones, to be honest.
Oh.
I'll see if I can find a quicker one.
Pineapple.
No, we're doing this and we're having lunch. Relax.
This is from C. C says,
Hi, C.
I hope you're all doing well, enjoying the summer. I have a question that I hope is a bit lighter than some of the others you answer and might be a welcome break. My friends are getting married in 2024. Male, female.
Boo.
Male, female?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why
must.
John was booing.
Yeah.
No, it's because he's recently divorced.
Oh,
Catherine.
Yeah.
of course. As we were all in our early mid-20s, none of us have ever tried to organise weddings.
Early
before.
20s.
Early/mid-20s, like 24, I guess. Do you have any advice on what we can do for the wedding to make it as memorable and special as possible? Wishing you all the best. Thank you for making this podcast. It's one of my favourites and listen to it every time I go to training or university placement. I'm going to start with our guest, John.
No.
But my hand went up first.
Helen's hand did go first. I'm sorry. I'm going to actually let Helen go first. And also, Andrew, it's crazy that you thought you were in charge. Off you go, Helen.
Yeah.
Helen, off you go, my
Hire a
darling.
bouncy castle. John's turn.
What?
Oh.
Hire a bouncy castle.
So nobody's,
can't believe you let Helen go
wearing
first.
heels?
John's turn.
Okay, John.
I can't believe I'm siding with Catherine on this. A bouncy castle, if only, here's what you do. As someone who has planned and executed a wedding, you do nothing that the bride and groom have not expressly said with their mouths. It would be great if we had a bouncy if they have not, show up, dress nice, get drunk, enjoy the party, because these people have spent 6 months fielding madness from their friends and family. No, do not do that. Did you understand the things that people propose to me? Like in the run up to the wedding, one person, oh my God, the amount of things
Butt
I had.
stuff?
Like butt stuff, of course.
Yeah, nice.
Before you get married, do you mind if I eat your ass? And I was like, Aunt Veronica.
Pineapple.
Pineapple and Veronica. Don't do anything. Just show up, have a great time. They have planned an event they want. Do not, like, I know everyone wants to make it better. Just what is the best is just show up. Go ahead, Catherine.
Catherine's
Okay.
is really boring.
You're both
Press
wrong.
their flowers until
Yeah.
about.
None of
Pay for the whole wedding and be their best friends
No,
and then read
make
from
sure
the
you hold
Bible.
their bouquet
when they're getting their photos
Yeah.
taken.
Absolutely
Make
not.
sure that the priest is deeply Catholic.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, please, Catherine.
You're in your early to mid 20s. You need to take the friend of this couple that you're closest to a bar, get them drunk, and explain to them that the reason they've planned to have a wedding in 2024 and the fact that they're Andrew, do you mind?
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Smash the place up, Andrew. For
They are in
fuck's
their
sake.
you're in their mid 20s,
I didn't know about this. Deep.
maybe early 20s. Take your friend to a bar and explain that getting married in your early 20s, if you're not pregnant, is completely unnecessary,
Yeah.
and they should chill the fuck out and just have a boyfriend.
How old were
about
the
that?
Obamas
No, I
when they
agree.
got married?
How
The
about
Obamas
that?
got married
young
young.
20-year-olds on Don't Tell the Bride. It's disgusting.
It's
Wait
just
till
like,
your 30s.
how about just absolutely chill out? Do not, like, don't get married when you have friends who are of an age that they write
How
into
old
a
were your
po- hang
parents
on.
when they got married?
Hang on, don't get married if you're friends.
We're a different generation, Helen.
Can I finish a
Sorry.
sentence? Do not get married if your friends are of an age where they think it's appropriate to write to Helen Bauer for advice on what to do at your wedding. Wait until they're old enough to listen to You're Dead to Me or the news and just hold fire. That is too early. It's too soon. You know it in your hearts too because you've planned it for 2024. No one has that long an engagement if they're sure about it. Don't do it.
I'd like
You
to
get big bouncy castles with slides on them.
That's true. Also, addendum to my answer, someone I know got married at 19. They're still together. Now, they are
Stockholm syndrome.
deeply Christian.
And unhappy.
Deeply Christian. But still did it.
Yeah.
So that's something.
That's not a good example. That's like,
But it is
Penguins
an example.
mate for life when they're like 3 years old.
That is true. And they don't even speak English, Catherine.
yeah, lots of people who don't speak English get married too soon.
Wait,
My point-
what?
I know, it's so confusing. Penguins are people. I just don't do it. It's too early. It's too soon. Your friends are not going to give you good gifts. They're writing to
I
podcasts.
think it's just
for God's
letting
sake.
people know as well, if you're going on a bouncy castle, you want to wear something that's not going to give you friction burn.
See, book a bouncing castle. Tell them, hey, look, this is the best day of your life. No need for the wedding.
I still picture them being like a weird utopia couple, you know what I mean? Like they're snorting heroin and the groom's wearing white.
Snorting heroin?
Have you not watched Euphoria, whatever that show is? I watched 2 scenes.
I've watched Euphoria. Were they snorting
Aren't they
heroin?
snorting heroin?
I don't know what they were snorting everything.
I haven't watched
It's
it.
a big thing. It's a big thing amongst like LA young people now. Is everyone's snorting heroin? I'm just like, good God, it's just
I'm
everyone's.
so moving to LA.
That's a no from me. Yeah, sorry, see, I just think be a
Snort
brave
heroin?
friend and tell them it's too soon. They're too young. They have their whole lives ahead of them.
Okay.
Well, leaving that on a
Divorce is
happy note there,
expensive.
Catherine.
They have their-
Happy. You'll
They
be
ha-
happier if you don't have to get divorced.
yeah, she's assuming they have their whole lives in front. It would be a sad podcast. She's like, well, you'll be dead soon, so might as well do it.
Counterpoint: if you do get married early,
Nope.
as a as a lifetime sort of big picture thing, as a friend, you'll get to go to a wedding, a divorce party, and a second wedding.
Yeah,
That's
you
a lot
have-
of parties.
That's true.
You have to buy
Yeah.
a gift for everyone. You have to travel there for everyone. You have to buy an outfit for
Second
everyone.
wedding isn't a gift.
Second
What?
wedding is not
Yeah,
a gift.
yeah. You wait.
First wedding's a gift, second wedding's not a gift.
Country of heathens.
I mean, we can't do everything like Ireland does. It's
Second wedding's not a
We
gift.
don't do second weddings,
I'm
John.
well aware. That would say that someone lost an argument, which does not happen in Ireland.
Absolutely not. Didn't you get fed plenty at the first one? Absolutely not.
They lost the famine argument.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for joining us from the BBC Sounds. That is
Thank you so much for listening to Trusty Hogs. John,
Yeah.
where can they find you?
They can find me on the new podcast Helen Bauer and I are starting, where it's just the cut things from this podcast. Yeah! The Bauer and John show. Yeah.
Happy birthday!
No one's wearing a shirt. Why are they both covered in Vaseline?
Do you want people to come to your Edinburgh show?
Yes, I do. My
Where
Edinburgh
is it?
show. Sorry, Catherine. We're having too much fun. 1,000 apologies. My Edinburgh show
rules
is
control
at,
the fun.
Goddamn
Okay.
right. Without rules, we won't know when fun starts.
Exactly.
It is at Carnivore 1 at the Monkey Barrel at 8:15. Please come along. The show is very good. 4 stars from Chortle in Australia. Who gets that? This
That's
boy
amazing.
does. And you can find me on all social medias at the John Hastings. My podcasts are The Wrestler Review. Do not listen to that one if you don't like wrestling or jokes about cum. Or you can listen to UTS, which is a weekly podcast with It's Just Bullshit. See you in hell. I love you.
Gorgeous.
And Carnival's a big meat restaurant, isn't it?
It certainly is.
It's really,
I eat meat.
I don't eat meat.
well, me and Helen will go to John's show without you. then.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go to the show.
You have to eat meat to go in.
Catherine, that is not true. That's not true. That's not.
Thank you so much
spread
for
that rumor.
listening.
I'm a hog now.
Biggest, most heartfelt thanks to our executive producers Guy Goodman, Simon Moores, Janinna Bautista, Mary Fox, and Annie Tonner. We love you.
And to our amazingly beautiful Peggy producers, Richard Bicknell, Elle, Richard Bold, Neil Redmond, Victoria Hutchison, Emma Walton, Karen and David Bull, Harald van Dijk, Kierah Leach, Tim and Dom, David Walker, Rachel R, Anthony Conway, Sadie Cashmore, Claire, Owen-Jones, Jess Nick, Zoe, Joe Holmes, Sarah Molly, Sarah Jarque-Deakin, Oliver Jago, and Alex Pugh.